Welcome to round one action of the Rotax Max South Africa Championship here in Killarney at the Killarney International Racetrack in Cape Town. And a brand new class coming to join us for 2019, Bambinos.
Bambinos is the 5 to 9-year-old. You'll notice that's a very broad age limit, but honestly with the kids, you don't know how big the child is when he's 5 and you don't know how big he's going to be when he's 8. And we've got, for example, little Christian who is quite tall and he's just turned 6, and we've got little Sepang Sishinwana who's turning 9 later this year, and he's really short. So we cater for a broad overlap. The bigger kids can move on to Micromax, but the little guys can stay a bit longer. There have been 4 youngsters that have really stuck out so far in Bambinos, and that's local boy Luan Mostert.
He's got the biggest fan club here.
He has his big fan club in Cape Town, of course, but not to be overlooked is little Ryan Karim, who has been doing really well here. So he's also got a fan club in Cape Town. Then from upcountry, we've got young Van der Laan and also little Sepang Sishinwana. So I think that'll be a 4-way battle of note, and I wouldn't like to guess who's going to come out on top.
12 of them going into the action. Luan Mostert on pole position ahead of Ryan Karim. Sepang Shinsiwana up there into 3rd place ahead of Caleb Oudendal all the way from East London, and Troy van der Laan making up the top 5 with Jordan Wadley there in 6th place. Let's catch up with our pole man.
It was really good and felt really good.
Talk to me about the competition in the class. Who's going to be challenging you?
My biggest challenger is Ryan and what's his name? Sepang, and he's they both are the biggest challengers.
How are you going to handle tomorrow's race? What's your plan?
In race I'm gonna focus, and what my one friend said, I must when someone's in front of me, then I'm gonna go a bit down and look at my engine. Then the guy in front of me is gonna think my engine is a bit bad. Then he's gonna go slower maybe, and then I'm just gonna go flat out and pass.
Yes.
Caleb Oudendal,
Tell me, where you come from?
I come from East London, and I drove all the way up to Cape Town to come and race.
So what do you think about the circuit here in Cape Town?
I think it's really nice.
And what are you going to do tomorrow in the race?
Tomorrow I'm going to try and pass Sepang and 17 and 23. I like the Bambino because it's fast and
so in the Bambino class, now racing the full circuit and not the short circuit like in before.
Yeah, but
who are the guys to watch out for?
Ryan, Luan, Caleb, and that's all.
And what are you going to do tomorrow? What's your plan?
I'm going to try dive him on the inside, and that's all.
There's a lot of slipstreaming on this track with this long back straight. You'll be able to handle that?
Yep.
So literally looking at the replacement for cadets in this country. Bambino now make their way down for the first time into turn number 1, and 32 Luan Mostert, the pole man, gets through and looks like he's just been able to squeeze out the rest. There's a couple of carters in the back that have got out of shape though. 39 is one of them. That is Christian Verheil. That's Jen's son and of course grandson to the big boss man here. Not quite the way he wanted to start out his Bambino career, but it is what karting is all about. And if you don't find the right line through turn 1, particularly in Cape Town, it can cost you dearly.
He's been obviously watching his dad and Max 175 doing some grass cutting and copying it there. But down the back straight here, you can see 3 to 4 moves happening here every lap with the slipstream. So Pang Chisinyawa had a bad start there into turn 1, and then all of a sudden up into 2nd down the back straight.
Yeah, a nice move there from Ryan Karim as well, as Karim came through there pretty rapidly in the 17 kart. So we got 4 karts. We bridged a little bit of a gap now over the 5th place man, but 5th place now still up for grabs and potentially going to be a 5-way battle here for the first time out for Bambino as they go down into turn 1 again. Remember a difference as well from last year. These guys now run the full circuit, Kyle, as opposed to running the short track option.
Yeah, and it's brought the racing nice and close because, like I said, as soon as you get down that back straight, you could have 6 kart links on the kart behind you, and all of a sudden he's on your bumper before you turn into golf club.
Tsepang is definitely looking for a way past, and he's applying pressure big time on the back end of Luan Mostert. Side by side for third place, and just getting through there is Ryan Kareem. Ryan Kareem just finding a way past in the 75 cart there of Caleb Undal, demoted down to fourth place and straight into the clutches of the 45. And Troy van der Laan definitely looking for the right lane as they head down into the bottom section.
Yeah, Troy van der Laan walking away with the win here 2 weeks ago at the pre-national test, and he gets a move down there on Ran into the golf club, and now he's up into fourth place behind the two Brittle Art boys of Tsepang and Caleb Undal.
Apologies there, it's Ryan, not Ryan. So there you go, Ryan Kareem doing a super job and maintaining a top 5 position there. I like the spray job he's got there on the helmet as well, rocking a sort of a Maverick style helmet there. Very much a aeroplane fuselage on the sideline, but it is a battle proper, a Top Gun battle here amongst the Bambinos as they go through turn 1 again. Led out this time by Tsepang.
Yeah, Tsepang making a move on Luan there down the main straight into turn 1, and now they're all shuffling and changing as Ran tried to make a move there on Troy and had unfortunately making contact and spinning it through the first 180. It's going to be difficult to catch the gap back now onto the front 4.
No, he's lost out one position, make that the front 5, because there's one guy that's just gone through there. I think that was Jordan Wadley. Jordan Wadley just squeezing him out and getting through on him. And as you come through here, you can see on the sideline support being given right the way through the track, chopping and changing for the front now, and a big move there from the 7.5 of Wundal. Wundal looked like he was the most dangerous man out there. Unfortunately, just cost him a little bit of ground because he had to back out. And as he did that, there was a big move there from Mostert. So Mostert dives through, capitalizes, and tries to squeeze out van der Laan. Van der Laan loses out big time in the background, but at the front end, Mostert doing everything right.
Yeah, Troy van der Laan and Caleb Undal tripping over themselves a bit there, and they've lost the group here on the front battle as Tsepang pulls down the inside. Same move he pulled the lap before, but unable to make a stick this time.
Mostert just keeping him at bay. Tsepang right on his tail, then 3 and 4 tucked in just behind them. This is great racing. This is really good to see, and also just bodes well for the future of the sport. If these youngsters are going to start making their way up the ranks as they are supposed to, and slowly but surely become a threat at the front end of those battles, we are going to be in for some epic battles here in South Africa in karting in the very near future.
Yeah, with the crossover in the age group, Tsepang and Luan are busy dipping their feet in the Micromax, but Caleb Undal, 6 years old, he's looking down the inside now. They're 3 abreast into Golf Club. 3 into 1 doesn't normally go, but somehow they've managed, and it's ended up with Caleb Undal on the front of Luan, ahead of Luan, and Tsepang Chismara in third ahead of Troy van der Laan.
I can tell you what happened right there is it wasn't a case of 3 into 1, it was 4 into 1. That's why they were able to make it. It was 3, they wouldn't have made it, and they would have been in trouble. So nicely done there from these 4 karters, holding nothing back here in the first outing for Bambinos here in Cape Town. Across the line one more time, another lap completed, and it's the 7.5 of Caleb Undal who leads out. As you said, 6 years of age, and this is the kind of racecraft he's got. Absolutely incredible to see.
Yeah, Troy van der Laan and Caleb Undal, the youngest in the field, they're 5 and 6 respectively. They're going to be battling it out for another couple of years as they go 3 abreast again into the first 180, and they've shuffled all over the place. All of a sudden, Tsepang's into first. Troy's having a go for second on Luan, and unfortunately couldn't make a stick. So now Luan down to second, Troy into third ahead of Caleb Undal. They're still side by side as they head down the back straight. Troy, the bigger loser there out of the chicane, now back down to fourth place.
Now the Praga kart, unfortunately, just losing out a little bit of ground there, but it looks like he's going to come straight back at it as they come through. Burl Art out front and doing a super job, but it's not over yet. There's a couple of back markers starting to come into play, and that's exactly what you'll find with this kind of category. The front end will be seasoned campaigners and guys and girls who've been involved in this karting for a while. But of course, you've got brand new youngsters coming to join, and it looks like Rebecca Wadley and Kai van Rensburg might be 1 or 2 of those back markers that are going to be caught rapidly. In fact, 34, definitely Rebecca Wadley, the first of the back markers to be caught. But the young lady definitely in for a run for her money now, and she'll get a little bit of a wake up here as the slightly quicker carts come through.
Yeah, Troy van der Laan making another move there on Caleb, but this is just allowing Tsepang to get away from the back pack behind him. But if they just stay together, keep their noses clean, they'll be able to catch back up onto him.
Well done to that young lady. You can see the X on the back of her helmet saying that she is still a rookie. So the seasoned campaigners will know exactly what to do. All she's got to do is hold her line, and that's exactly what she's done to allow both those carts through on the inside. Great driving from the youngster, and definitely something to watch out for. Hopefully she'll get to grips with the carts rapidly and get to the front end.
The big loser there from the back marker was unfortunately Troy van der Laan, dropping way down to fourth there, and with only a couple of laps left to go, it's going to be difficult for him to fight his way back up.
Now, Tsepang, I think, has done it all right. He's rocking a sort of well-known helmet there by the looks of things, eh? You know, I'm not going to mention that guy's name. He drives for Mercedes-Benz, though.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I haven't a clue either. No, he's definitely looking like he's going to be the future of the sport, yeah, as he comes across the line. Potentially to take the checkered flag? Yes, to take the checkered flag. He'll take the first win in the Bambino class for the season as well. Tsepang Shinsawana taking the win there ahead of Luan Mostert. And Caleb Oudendal from East London comes through for third place, beating out Troy van der Laan in the Praga for fourth place. It is Ryan Karim who gets fifth, ahead of Jordan Wadley, Christian Verheil and Josh Moore. Then it was Roderick Simpson and Jack Moore, the top 10.
The race was tough, but I won. I started in third, but I went all the way to first.
How did it come about at first? Was it a big fight or was it easy?
A big fight, but I won.
Nothing wrong with that. There's always a big fight in Bambinos. And if you win, it's even better, hey? All right, so heat number 2 now, Carl. Who's your money on?
I'm going to go with Ryan Karim with a 58-second lap time in the previous heat. Half a second quicker than anybody else. Puts him on pole for this race, the start of this race.
Heading down into the lanes now. They get ready to go, keeping those lanes, and that is perfectly done. It is a good start and a great start from the 17 cart as they head down there. Exactly on cue. Ryan Karim with that fast lap now capitalizing on the pole position. Luan Mostert tucks in behind him. Chapang goes through for third place. And then I think just in the background there, keep an eye out on Jordan Wadley, who had a much better start this time out. And looks like he might be in that front pack.
Yeah, the front looks like the same 5 protagonists we had in the previous heat. About to check out there in the front and move on to go carry on with their epic battles that we watched in the previous heat. But it's the 2 local boys, Luan Mostert and Ryan, in the front.
Nice start from the 2 of them. Chapang is going to look to close them down. Short little guy, really, really incredible to see how well he's got to grips with this kart as he comes flying down that back straight and puts the pressure onto Mostert. Behind them, it's the 45 machine of Troy van der Laan, the Praga kart, now starting to throw in amongst those front end runners. And 75 Caleb Oudendal, also with a great finish in heat number 1, looking to do the same here in heat 2.
Yeah, Troy doesn't seem to have the pace that he had in the previous heat, dropping off the pack there, but Caleb needs to get past him as soon as possible, otherwise he's going to lose the front group himself.
They come across the line, completing lap number 1 now. Down towards turn 1 they go. A little bit of a gap here for Karim to play with, and Mostert closes that down under braking, bringing along Tsepang for the ride. So, Tsepang making a little bit of a mistake on the exit point there of turn 1, but he manages to make it up on the little short straight into the 180s. Definitely a man on the move, though, is the 7.5 card of Caleb Oudendal. He is not too far off those front-end runners, and with a little bit more of an effort, he's going to be there in amongst them and going to make it a 4-way battle for the lead.
He's definitely close enough for the slipstream, but we seem to have lost Troy van der Laan there, so whatever the issue was, it seems to be terminal. He's still in the background there, but he seems to be losing pace hand over fist. Christian Verheil looking to get past him now.
It's a big pity there for the Praga man. He's going to have to do some serious work in the third heat and, of course, give you guys on the sideline a little bit of work to do. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Find the issue and probably get it sorted out. Get him back onto pace. Yeah, definitely losing out. You can see he's gone back behind 2 carts there, and I think that was both Jordan Wadley and Roderick Simpson that he's lost out to there just in the background.
But battle carries on here in the front. The 3 of them fanning out again, looking to go 3 abreast again into turn 1, but looks like Tsepang is just kind of hanging in there to see what these 2 are about and what they're up to and make his move later on in the race.
Not quite what he did in the first one. He got to the front after a bit of a battle like we're in right now. We did see some issues, though, for, of course, Ryan Karim. And Ryan Karim had some problems where he had just a big mistake into the 180s. Cost him a lot of time. This time he's trying not to make that mistake. He's trying to just hang on to the back end of Mostert and use the advantage that he's got here as they come through. What a drive out of the 180s to get around the outside of Luan Mostert. On the inside comes Caleb Oudendal. Oudendal squeezes out Chapang, and that's 2 positions changing up in the space of 1 corner, nearly 2 corners, and nearly 2 places there for Oudendal.
Yeah, Caleb, the youngest in this group, showing some real racecraft. It's normally Caleb and Tsepang and Troy down in the regionals and the northern regions racing together. Caleb from East London, but he does all his racing up in the northern regions. So learning from Lance and from Tsepang and Troy up there definitely seems to be helping him.
Now the threat is on and the pressure is on into the front, man. It looks like Luan Mostert is soaking it up. But there you go, Caleb sneaks through to second. They're now 3x3 coming out of turn 1. He's got the maneuver on. Is he good enough on the brakes to keep out the attack coming from Karim? No. Karim dives on the inside. Can't quite make it sick because he knew that the 180s are going to come into play. So he'll just have to slot in behind Caleb Oudendal now and try and find another way. If he gets good drive out of here, maybe down through the right-hand sweep at the second part of Golf Club, he can make a go.
Yeah, Karim almost making the same mistake he made there in the first heat, but wise to it now, backed out of it. But that's also allowed Tsepang to get up the inside using the draft from Caleb Oudendal. Luan looking calm, cool and collected in the front as Caleb Oudendal gets into the back room.
It was a great shot there. Close-up of the youngster going through there. Hardly any corrections through the turn, so he knew exactly where to pitch it in and hold that steering wheel, not have to fight the car through there as much. That kart seems really well set up, and I think it might just be under a bit of threat now. And in fact, there's starting to be a little rubbing in the background there. Karim getting together there and giving a little tap on the back end of Oudendal, but that's nearly cost him because on the inside, Tsepang nearly capitalized.
Yeah, Caleb looking feisty now, looking for the inside into the first 180. Luan wise to it. The local boy knows this track better than anybody. So keeping into the inside there and keeping Caleb behind him.
It's a superstar check from these youngsters, and really, these four seem to be the class of the field. It's a pity we lost out on Troy so early on. I think he would have been up there and fighting hard. We would have had a 5-way battle for the lead, but needless to say, I'm sure he'll be back for a race number 3. Now they go down that back straight, 2x2. Is it going to be 3x3? In fact, it's going to be 4x4. Wow, that's brilliant. That is top-class stuff from Bambinos. Well done for starting this category out and putting them into national championship status, because this is what you want to be seeing. The future of the sport, and they're not afraid to hold back.
Definitely the best racing of the day. And Tsapang moving his way up into third on Caleb. Well, Caleb was looking for a move into first, so the chopping and changing are plenty there, but Rain just seems like he has a little bit more down those front straights on Luan Mustad. Heads down the inside now to hopefully make a move on him. He looks like it's got it done.
Perfectly done. Coming back though, Mostert goes on the inside, cuts back, and tries to hold that inside line for the 180s. And look at that, superbly done. Around the outside, Tsapang trying to go around the outside and the inside line for the second of the 180s. No, can't quite get there. But so close between these three.
Again, we're heading down the back straight, so we're probably going to see 4 abreast again as we head out of the chicane. Luan needs to move early to the inside, otherwise Rain's going to move before him, which he's done. And that's given the draft to Tsapang. Tsapang now looking on the inside of Rain as well as Luan. But I think he'd be clever enough just to stay there and move him way up to the second.
Karim hangs on to the inside line, Mostert around the outside, and now 2x2 just behind that for second and third, or third and fourth I should say, as they go into the second part of Golf Club. And it was Tsapang having to fend off the attack there from Undal. So Undal nearly capitalizing on the fact that he was on the inside line through there. Didn't have quite the same corner speed as what we saw out of Tsapang's kart.
Yeah, it looks like it's all about position as when they head down the back straight, but same can be said for the front straight, as Luan having a move back here for the first place position. Unfortunately unable to get it done. Rain just drives around the outside and shuts the door firmly in his face.
He's got a really nice line through turn 1. That's what's keeping him at the front end right now. Luan comes through and dives down to the inside, though he got better drive, and unfortunately does capitalize his drive out of turn 1. That line, he's able to defend into turn 1, but with that defense comes a little bit of lack of pace out of that turn 1, and that's where Luan Mostert capitalized and got through into the 180s. Now he's going to have to try and get the drive out of the 180s. They're coming up on the back markers once again. Rebecca Wadley is the first of those back markers, and she'll be well aware of the fact that these 4 are coming.
They're trying 3 abreast, Tsapang around the outside of both of them. What a move on the first part of Golf Club. He got such a good draft that he could literally drive around the outside of both those carts.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, eh? Get into that draft, use the slipstream, pull out at the right time, and you can just get past. Ask Cole Trickle, he'll tell you all about it.
Unbelievable move from Tsapang, but he can show a little bit more experience there, being in the class a little bit longer than the 3 of them, but showing some real good racecraft there.
Now, with 1 lap to go, can this all go according to plan for Tsapang? He's looking for a win here. Luan Mostert wants it more than him, and he dives on the inside, getting through into turn 1. Has he been able to hold that inside line?
We've lost
running
Caleb
wide.
Woodendal.
Caleb Woodendal runs wide off the circuit. Oh, what a pity for the youngster. He's going to try and get that kart back on track, but this is going to be costly for him. They pull the kart back onto the circuit. Hopefully he can get back in it and get going as quickly as possible. If he does that, he may still be able to get into the top 5. He has lost out position there to Jordan Wadley and to Roderick Simpson. But now the top 3 getting out of the 180s and heading up to the back. Is it going to be Mostert? Is it going to be Tsapang around the outside? It is. And on the inside here comes Karim. All 3 of them in with a shot of a win.
Unbelievable racing from the 3 of them to get 3 abreast through Golf Club. It's a little bit of an achievement. Luan trying a little sneaky there through the right left, but unable to make a stick.
Crowd on the edge of their seats as they come to the line. It is going to be Tsapang to take the win. Karim coming through there for second. And in third place, a super drive from Luan Mostert. What a great battle between these 3. And if this is the start of Bambino's, oh man, are we in for a great season. Well done, guys. Tsapang taking the win there ahead of Ray and Karim. It's Luan Mostert who's eventually going to come through for third place, as we saw them coming across the line. I don't think they've seen the checkered flag, to be honest with you. They're still racing.
No, to them it's the first to the pits.
First back to the pits, first to get the tee, yeah. And also to see who's going to be playing with the Lego blocks first. I think that'll be Tsapang, but he takes the win ahead of Karim. Mostert, Wadley, Simpson, and Josh Moore in 6th place. Caleb Woodendal eventually recovered to 7th, beating out Kai van Rensburg. Straight into Heat 3 now, and Heat 3, expect more of the same as they head down towards turn number 1. It's Caleb Woodendal, the man who crashed out only a couple of hours ago. He heads into turn 1, this time in the lead, not on the dirt.
Troy van der Laan from the back there, making a huge move up into 7th place from last on the grid, but it's up to the front guys now. The same 4 that were in the previous heat. Caleb Woodendal leads it out from his teammate Tsapang, ahead of Luan Mostert and Karim.
Now, what people have been saying on the side, oh man,
whoa,
looping it out, and there's a couple of, oh, there you go. Bambino is coming together there in a big way. That was a big pity there.
They're going to have to stop this
I think
race.
they have to stop this one. There's too many carts involved, and it looks like a possibility of a couple of injuries as well. The 14 cart looks like might be a little bit. Yeah, Carl van Rensburg definitely not happy with the situation. He got hit from behind as well as T-boning straight into the side of the 43 cart of Jordan Wadley. And it looks like a possibility of a red flag. Yeah, 39 also stuck in the middle there. That's Christian Verheil. That's a second big one for him. And let's see whether or not that's going to be. No, they're carrying on racing down towards turn 1. They continue here. And just waiting for those flags to come out. I think the flag will be coming out any second now because they're heading into that dangerous area. Yeah, there in the background, just picking up. Saw the red flags being waved. And double yellows into the area that's affected. No, it's going to have to be stopped. There's marshals on the track. Going to have to make a call here, COC. Definitely going to have to redo this one. Yeah, eventually the red flag came out. And we'll have to restart this one and get them all going again. I think all of these carts will probably get started again, other than Kai. I think Kai van Rensburg was a little bit too hard there. The spinner, of course, is 43. That's Wadley. 117 just avoids. There's nowhere to go for the 39 cart there. And there you can see why Kai just got hit. He gets hit from the front and from the back, and he's tucked underneath the 39 cart as well. So not quite the way you want to be starting. Christian Verheil, and there you can see Kai just being helped off to the sideline and into the medical attention on the sideline as well. Mom and Dad, that's probably the best one you want. I think he's probably hurt his arm there. Looks like possible broken arm. Hopefully he's okay. He'll be back, I'm sure, for PE if that's the case. But here we go. Restart of the third and final heat of Bambinos. And as they head down, it was a standing start that they've given them. Heading down in there, it is Caleb Odendahl. Once again, hole-shotting and capitalizing. Where is your carter going, boy? Troy getting it completely wrong, finding the wrong lane. But Van der Laan eventually will get back on track and have to fight from the back of the field now with a huge mountain to climb here. And that is definitely not one you want at the start of a race like this when the carts are so evenly matched.
I think I told him outside line was best, but I think he just exaggerated it slightly.
Yeah, he just went just that much more, hey? So he took the Magoo line, not the Carl line.
Well, it worked well for him in the first start. He got his way up to 6th place, but unfortunately now spinning and way off the pack as Caleb Odendahl and Tsepang start fighting straight away. Around the outside again goes Tsepang. He uses that slipstream so well.
The first four starting to get away, kind of what we saw in the first two heats of this racing as well. So it's kind of be a four-way battle here, unless we can see a maneuver coming through there from the 117. But I'm not quite sure if Josh Moore's got the same kind of pace as what these guys. In fact, speaking of pace, I was about to say it when we had that big accident. It looks like a couple of the pundits on the sideline are expecting the under 1 minute bracket to be broken here in the seat because conditions are almost ideal for these carts. So we may see the first sub-minute lap out of the Bambino class.
Yeah, the cooler the circuit is, the better these engines go. But we did see Kareem wreck into the 58s in the previous heats, but again, that's earlier in the morning, cooler temperatures, so the engines do perform better. Second heat, not so much. So it'll be nice to see them running in the sub-59s, but with them running nose to tail, four abreast with that headwind, the times are always going to come down.
Here they go down that back straight away. It's going to be 4x4 again. Right now, it is Tsepang who leads out. And it looks like Odendahl going left, right, trying to make a maneuver. And Kareem says, no, well, if you're not going to go, I'll show you the way to go. He dives on the inside. It might have just forced that drive wide. Yes, it has. He's forced himself wide. And I think Mostert might have just capitalized and squeezed him out. Yes, he's got through. So Leuven Mostert doing a super job there, diving through and finding a way up into the third spot as he watched Ryan Kareem getting a little bit out of shape into the first part of the golf club.
Two Brillard boys just getting a little bit of a gap, but I don't think it's going to last long with these two behind them. If they keep fighting the way they are, though, these two in the front are going to get away.
Side-by-side action as they went through there. And it was 2x2 they went into turn one. This time though, Tsepang just maintaining and watching exactly where he places that cart. Placement of these carts, particularly when they're so evenly matched, is crucial because if you just put it into the wrong position and open up a door, the person behind you is definitely going to capitalize and make you pay.
Yeah, these are not very high horsepower engines, so any too sharp a jerk on the steering wheel is going to lose you a lot of time in a straight line. Kareem using a little bit more than the circuit than what's between the yellow lines, but getting away with it down the inside now of Caleb as they head into golf club. Caleb shuts the door firmly on him like he did the previous lap, but again, Leuven trying the move he tried the lap before.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to speak to Jan Hutzer and find out if we can get that onboard footage from that GoPro that's on his cart, because that would have been excellent coverage as we went down there. That little onboard was right in the clutches and on the back end of the 7.5. And I think Odendahl would have a big fright to see how close he came as they went into that section. But now they're coming across the line and completing another lap. And there's a move from Kareem. Has he been able to make it stick? Yes, this time. Getting through to Odendahl, and Mostert goes with him.
Good move there from Kareem, just forcing Caleb out slightly and allowing Mostert to come through. But now he's going to have a go into the first 180 on Tsepang. He gets the move done, makes it stick, and he's very neat and tidy to the second 180. So there's no move No cutback move there for Tsipang.
No, he couldn't come back now, but watch for the drive as they come out of the 180s. He definitely got better drive. And with Lewan Mostert behind it, Mostert saying, thank you very much. I'm going to try and use this drive. I think he pulled out a little bit too early, though. He wasn't quite in the slipstream effect, but he's going to have a chance to do a double slipstream here. One on Tsipang and now one on Kareem, and he dives on the inside. Mostert, double trouble into the golf club, using that double slipstream to fine effect and taking the lead.
Unbelievable how much space these kids give each other. They were able to run side by side through golf club. You won't see any other class trying that.
Yeah, well, they'll try it, but they won't be given that room. They'll be tapped off and sent for a par 5. Right, across the line they go again, and Mostert, he has to go defensive now. He got to pick one to go and defend. He picked the wrong one on the inside. Kareem got back at him, but he cuts back to try and return the favor into the 180s. He is also having to defend off the attack coming from the back from Tsipang. And Tsipang is all over the back of Mostert. Mostert now trying but failing through the 180s there. Hopefully on the next pass he'll get a chance to get past and on Kareem.
I'm amazed to see how close these kids can run together without actually hitting each other. It's unbelievable to watch, and it bodes well for the future of karting.
And they come 3x3. Possibly 4x4.
Tsipang trying his outside move again. He tried in the previous heat. Is it going to work for him this time?
No, not this time. This time he wasn't quite close enough. But Mostert loses out as Kareem is able to just get great drive into the second part of Golf Club now, and he's got about 2 kart lengths as they come out of it. So that's a good maneuver. Maybe enough time here, and maybe good timing to get through there and potentially throw a cat amongst the pigeons.
Well, we saw in qualifying that a small gap like that in the slipstream isn't worth much. The slipstream is worth a second a lap. So you could be up to a second away from the cart in front of you, and that slipstream will pull you back in.
Speaking of seconds a lap, let's make it a 1 minute lap that's just been broken there by Tsipang. Tsipang taking a 59.9, and that's why he's maneuvered himself up into second place and pulling away from Mostert and Odendaal and starting to close in on the leader. So Kareem, I think, days might be numbered here.
Lewan Mostert doesn't seem to have the pace he had earlier on. Seems to have lost a little bit of top end there. Nothing to do with his driving. I think maybe he's just a little bit too lean on the jetting, or engine's running a bit hot, so he's unable to keep up with Tsipang and Kareem there as they head down the back straight. Tsipang doesn't have the move for Golf Club, but Caleb does on Lewan Mostert and gets past nicely.
A nice move there from Caleb. He's just been able to make it stick there. Can he keep it all together now for the next couple of laps? They're coming into back markers, which means that we're running into the closing stages. Rebecca Wadley will know exactly what to do just to hold her line as the steam train of Bambinos come through.
Bit of a gap there between the front two and the next two, so it looks like this is the race for the lead between Tsipang and Kareem.
Head down towards turn 1. Kareem holding on for now. Tsipang in second. Odendaal is third. Looks like Lewan Mostert, as you said, hasn't quite got the same kind of pace here in the closing stages, and that might be costly for him for the overall for the day. Let's see what happens as they get into these closing stages now. Tsipang all over the back of Kareem. Kareem defending admirably here at this stage to keep out the hard charge from Tsipang.
Yeah, he's got the right drive now as they head through the chicane. Kareem's going to have to move early to the inside so he doesn't lose the position. He's staying quite wide, offering the inside to Tsipang. I think he knows Tsipang liked the outside better. Moves back to the inside now as they head down into Golf Club. Tsipang's going to try the cut back now into the second part of Golf Club. Not close enough to get it done.
Yeah, he did that to perfection, actually. He knew that Tsipang was going to try and rail around the outside out of the 180s. This is why he blocked that and then came across to make his one maneuver into the inside line. So a super bit of and crafty driving coming out of Ray and Kareem to take the win here in the final heat of Bambinos. So well done. Excellent racing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in this championship. We got 5 contenders in this championship that are definitely going to be at the front end and putting on a show like this at every single round. Wait till they get to PE. Ray and Kareem taking the win ahead of Tsipang, and then you got Caleb Odendaal in third place. Lewan Mostert eventually finished up in fourth place, beating out Jordan Wadley, Josh Moore and Christian Verheul.